fresh ideas to balance out the nostalgia perfectly. So the film is pretty great. But that doesn't mean there aren't a few things in there that might make you scratch your head. Here are the dumb things we all ignored in Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So what's the First Order's whole deal anyway? In the original Star Wars trilogy, the Rebellion fights for freedom from the tyranny of the Empire. The Empire is, well, an empire. It's a huge evil government that rules the galaxy with an iron fist. Makes sense, right? But in The Force Awakens, it's the Resistance that fights against the First Order. And the First Order is what exactly? If the Rebellion defeated the Empire and the galaxy is now governed by the New Republic, then what the heck is the First Order? What do they do and why? And where'd they get the resources to build an entire planet made of Death Stars? Curious fans can hit up Google for the First Order's unexplained backstory. But seriously, we shouldn't have to chase down the answers to some pretty basic questions by digging into the Force Awakens visual dictionary that kids buy at elementary school book fairs. R2-D2's perfect timing. That little data file that led to Luke's hidden location served as a great carrot to dangle in front of everyone and keep this movie, rolling. If there's one thing Star Wars does great, it's hiding important information in adorable robots.
What message? The one you've just been playing. The one you're carrying inside your rusty innards.
But BB-8 only has a piece of the map, so naturally the little guy wonders about the other droid who spent some time as a rolling flash drive, R2-D2. In fact, he asks R2 about whether or not he's got the rest of the map everybody needs. And then this happens.
You're wasting your time. It is very doubtful that R2 would have the rest of the map in his backup data. I am afraid not. R2-D2 has been in low power mode ever since Master Luke went away.
But C-3PO is totally wrong, as we find out at the end of the film when R2 suddenly wakes up, just in time to put everybody back into a good mood. That's great timing, R2. But hadn't the Resistance ever tried to look through R2's memory before? He literally has a computer for a brain. Nobody dug out a USB cable and plugged him into the computer. No one in the Resistance has heard of Control-F. Captain Phasma is not very fantastic. Captain Phasma is undeniably cool, what with her shiny armor, fancy cape, and slick British accent, and then she goes down like a sack of potatoes. And then she pretty much caves immediately. Finn tells her to bring down the shields across the base, and she does it without a fight. Did she only get that fancy stormtrooper suit because she's like General Hux' cousin or something? Hunks don't need parachutes. Remember when Finn and Poe crash land on Jakku, and Finn takes Poe's jacket from the smoking wreckage? It sure seemed like Poe was dead, until he showed up again for the last act of the movie. We never find out how he survived, or even why he left his style and jacket behind. The reason? Poe was actually dead, at least in the first bunch of drafts of the screenplay. Apparently, director J.J. Abrams was so taken with Oscar Isaac's performance, he decided to keep Poe around after all. Too bad we can't say the same for every pilot in Star Wars, of course.
Cover me, Porkins.
I'm right with you, Red 3. Got a problem here.
Eject!
I can hold it.
Pull up!
No, I'm all right.
Sorry, Porkins. Should have been handsomer. A convenient chasm. The film ends with a climactic battle between Rey and Kylo Ren as she takes the emo Vader wannabe to the woodshed. By the end of the fight, Kylo Ren has a few holes in him and Rey is triumphant. Then, a very convenient hole opens up right between them, allowing Ren to be rescued before the Starkiller base explodes. This, of course, is highly symbolic of the ideological divide between Rey and Kylo Ren. One is embarked on the path of the Jedi, while the other has turned his back on it forever. Good versus evil. Dark versus light. Oh, and keeping your exciting new bad guy alive so he can come back and give your heroes a hard time in the sequel. Too bad we can't say the same for every exciting new bad guy in Star Wars, of course. Sorry, Darth Maul. Should have been, Kylo Renier.